Hey May, what you got going on today?
Well, the last time that I made Kalua pork
Mm-hmm.
in the turkey roaster,
Mm-hmm.
and then I can it in a jar, and then I put in the pressure canner to do the proper canning, and it turned out to be like like I said, glorified pot of meat.
So too much cooking, basically, is that what
Yeah,
it
it just turned into mush,
was? Uh-huh.
and it just it just it's just not doing the Kalua pork any justice.
Mm.
So I'm trying to figure out how do I use the pressure canner for, you know, some people may have safety concern, and so last week the croaker has the pork butt on 99 cents a pound again.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, well, I had bought two at first, two pork butt, and I was busy, so I just went ahead and marinated the whole thing for the turkey roaster. But then a couple of days later, I decided to buy a couple more pork butt, and I said, you know what? This time I have a little more time. Let me cut them up
Uh-huh.
and then marinate them for Kalua pork. But now I'm gonna can them raw
Okay.
and go through the proper time and all that, and then we'll see how it looks.
See how it turns out.
Yeah, how it turns out. So I cut the pork into big chunks,
Mm-hmm.
and I marinate them in my own seasoning, which again it was I used the Hawaiian sea salt, fresh chopped garlic, and black pepper.
Hmm.
And then after I got them all mixed up, then I put a few drops of musky smoke.
Liquid smoke.
Yeah, liquid
Mm-hmm.
smoke.
Mm-hmm.
And then I put them in the refrigerator for like three nights,
Mm-hmm.
3 days. So now I'm gonna put them in a jar and get them ready for canning. And before I've been canning them in the quart jar, and for just two of us, that's actually too big.
Uh-huh.
Once I open it, that means we have to eat Kalua pork for like 3 days in a row or something like that.
Which is not a problem.
Not a problem, but sometimes you
But-
forget.
Yeah.
Then you sit in the refrigerator too long,
True.
and I don't like to waste them. Even the animals will eat it. The next door neighbor dog might want to come eat it, or even the chickens will eat it.
Mm-hmm.
But I still rather not waste that. So I'm gonna stuff these in, which is very simple because it's already cut up, it's already seasoned.
Mm-hmm.
So I just put it in, and I'm not gonna overstuff them. Usually a pint jar will take about not quite a pound of meat, more like 0.9 pound.
Mm-hmm.
It should be good.
So again, you come up to like just the rim, the base of the rim, the bottom of the rim.
What they call the neck,
Uh-huh.
just by the just right below the neck.
Okay.
You can see right there. That's the neck,
Right.
just right there.
Okay. Should we come back when you're got them filled in?
Yes.
All
And
right.
then now we'll put it in the canner together, and then we'll go from there.
All right.
Thank you. All right, here we are, trying to get these jars ready for to go in the canner. And I already cleaned the rim off with the hot towels, hot water. And now I have a napkin with white vinegar on it to wipe off just in case any of grease left on the rim. And I have the lid soaking in the warm water. Basically, not really soaking, kind of rinse it off to make sure that it's clean. And then we'll put the lid on, and then put the ring on. And to make sure that it's only finger tight, because if you get it too tight, the pressure will not be able to escape. Then you're going to have a failure. And if you have it too loose, same thing, it will not seal well. So we'll go through all this, and we'll come back when we've done with putting all the lid on.
All right, May, what stage are we at? Where are we at now, right?
Okay, I got all the jars ready to go into the canner, and managed to put them those 2 big bags of pork into 20 jars, which is exactly what I need to go into the canner. Now, some of them might be slightly overstuffed, but hopefully it's not gonna cause me any trouble. But anyhow, we're gonna put in the canner, and the canner has already got the 3 quarts of water in there, and it's ready to go. Here we go. Oops. Let's see. Something not quite right. Okay. Because we need to get 10 jars in there. 2, 4, 6, 8. Oh, okay, that's 10.
Oh.
Then we need another layer. And I'm going to put a little bit of fat on the rim.
What's that for?
That actually helps the seal go on better, and it kind of lubricates the seal so it doesn't dry out. And here we are. There's a V right here, and then there's a V right there. We need to line that up. Okay, so that's lined up, and then tighten it. And we're ready to go. And I'll put it on high, or probably 8. I don't want to burn my countertop, actually. I don't know why they designed the stove in such a way that when you put it on high heat, you're going to scorch your countertop. I think it's poor design. Must be people who don't cook design the stove.
Well, maybe.
But anyhow, we're going to let it go, and when it comes to boil, when it's steaming, and then when this pop up and steam continue to go for so many minutes, they say 10 minutes, then you put your weight on, and then let it come to the pressure, which is right around past the 10, that another dark dots right there. That's 11 pounds per square inch for our altitude. But usually it never stays there. It usually goes higher. But that's okay. As long as the weight not rattle, then that means you're okay. And it doesn't go below 10, below 11, then that you're fine. But the pine jar goes for 75 minutes.
Now again, you check to make sure this thing would.
No, first
pop up, right?
when it starts steaming, and then this valve pop up.
Yes.
Then that's when you're supposed to count
No, I'm
your
saying
time.
you're making sure that it worked, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Because you want to.
Yeah, I already did that earlier.
Before you put it on.
Yeah. So anyhow, we'll come back when the timer starts. All right. As you can see here, the valve has popped up already, and a steady stream of steam is coming up from where the rocker goes on, the weight goes on. So now we're going to go ahead and place the weight on it. And then now the pressure should start building up, and we'll come back. It should take about probably 10-15 minutes for the pressure to build up to the right pressure, and then we'll start counting the time. Alright, come back later. Well, it reached actually went above the pressure already. So we're going to go ahead and turn it down some. And you don't want to turn it down too fast, too much too fast, because sometimes you'll lose the pressure for some reason. So you may have to lower your temperature a few times during adjustment. So the first, I would say 5 minutes, keep eyes on it. And once it's stabilized, then it's almost, hands off until the time is up. And right now it's 10:16. It actually reached the temperature about 10:15. So that's at 75 minutes, so that will be 10:30, 11:30. So we'll set our time for 11:30 for this canner. And we'll check back when it's done.
And we're back.
And it is done. The valve had went down already. See, ooh, that's hot. Mm-hmm. And it's down to 0 right there. Mm-hmm. So we could remove this weight. Mm-hmm. Oops. And now we're going to open it and relieve the steam. And we're going to let it go for 10 minutes. Then we'll come back and remove it from the canner. You can see the steam still going. Mm-hmm. And make sure that you open it away from you so that the steam don't hit you in the face. Right. That will not be very pleasant. All right. And then we'll show you when we get it out. See how it look. All right. Moment of truth. Let's see how this comes out.
So what you're hoping for is that it doesn't come out as what?
Glorified potted meat?
Yeah, basically. So you want this to be like a little more stiffer or a little more?
Well, with at least still has a texture. When you bite into it, you're biting into meat, not like potted meat. So as you could see, you could still see the big chunks, but it should be fork tender that you could just break it apart. Right. And then since it creates its own juice, so you could still do your Kalua pork and cabbage, or you could take the meat out and make sandwich out of it. Right. But of course, we have to wait till tomorrow. I might have to open up a jar, just to taste test it, and see if it really, since we skipped the portion of like slow cooking it, yes. Slow roasting it, so it may not taste the same. I don't know.
Now, what if you cooked it and then put it into the jars and let it seal that way?
Well, that's what I usually do.
Like before you did, like you put the jars in the oven, and heat them up.
Well, that works.
That way, you're not cooking it a couple, different.
I know, but I'm trying to do it this way. I'm only cook it once as well. Okay. But what I'm saying is that I want to test both. If this one still come out taste the same as if I do it in the roaster, then I could go ahead and just do it this way, and it's pressure canned, and I feel safer. Okay. But the other way, it's actually so far been working good for us, So if I just want to can it away, I could can it away, and if if it turn out pretty much similar, like not, I could deal with the slight difference in flavor.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's too much off from the Kalua pork should taste like, then I would just strictly cooking, in the roaster, and then can it the old-fashioned way.
Right.
Right.
So, come back tomorrow and see how they look.
Yes, and then I also got 2 more pork butt that already marinated, also for Kalua pork, and I'm gonna have to put in a
Slow
roaster
cooker.
tonight.
Oh, okay.
Yep. But anyhow, we'll see you tomorrow.